Hi everyone, Ash Gullo here from Brandon and Gullo Lawyers. I hope you're all well. Look, lots going on in the business sphere at the moment. And one thing I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about today, just for a minute or two, is about the situation with leases. Now, many of you who are in business will be wondering, gosh, what do I do with my lease? Or maybe you're even a landlord. How do you respond to your tenants at this time? Well, one of my associates, Romi Fulljames, who is meant to be on maternity leave, I've pulled her out of maternity leave to have a chat with me today. And leasing is one of her areas of expertise, and she's going to shed a little bit of light on that for us. Hey, Romy, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you.
Excellent. Lots happening at the moment in the business sphere. Can you maybe talk to us a little bit about what's going on with leases and maybe what, if you're a tenant, what you can do at this time, if you're having a bit of a rough time, maybe making ends meet?
Yeah, definitely. So the government is coming out with changing rules and regulations all the time. It's really hard for any of us normal Aussies to keep up, and particularly in the business context as well. So at the moment, the position is that they've released some principles that they're hoping to apply in the future, which basically leaves us as business owners in a position where we need to be willing to negotiate with the other parties in our agreements, because we can't rely on set policies to provide clarity at this time. So I think the main message is... Sorry.
I was going to say, where do we start? Where's the place that a business owner should start if they do need to talk to their landlord?
Yeah, we're definitely encouraging our clients to be really personal. So making sure that you're picking up the phone early, being as transparent as possible, making sure that you're arming your negotiations with evidence. So, if your premises is usually hustling and bustling and now there's no one attending your restaurant or your shop front, taking a picture of that or a video of what the environment's like to show your landlord exactly what is happening. And the other thing is to make sure that if you do reach any final stage negotiations, you weigh up the balance between making sure that those arrangements are both binding but also flexible. So we want to make sure that we're not just entering into handshake agreements that aren't enforceable, but also making sure that we're leaving some flexibility there to allow for these government policies to come out so that you can access them in the future.
Right. How important would it be to read your lease at this time?
Yeah, it's vital. We have so many clients that, you sign your lease and then you put it in that folder somewhere in the spare bedroom and forget about it. Now's the time to take out that lease document and make sure that you know what clauses are in there. The kinds of clauses that we'd be looking for would be what we'd call a force majeure clause, which is just a fancy way of lawyers speak for talking about acts that are beyond the party's control. So you might have a clause in your lease that deals with situations just like this one. You also need to pay attention to the notice provisions. So there's no point in entering negotiations with your landlord, going backwards and forwards, coming to an agreement, and then realizing, we actually didn't provide valid notice under the lease. So making sure that you're adhering to those. And the other one is your dispute resolution process. So normally in a lease, you'll see a clause in there that talks about how we resolve disputes, and we just need to be aware of what that looks like and making sure that we're ready to take those steps if we need to.
Right. So really, the key takeaway for someone who wants to get started with this process is, one, familiarise themselves with their lease. Two, communicate with their tenant or their landlord, as the case may be. And then once a negotiation has taken place and there's agreed altered terms for weeks or months, put that in writing. And it could even be like an email, even just say, hey, Joe, thanks so much for that. I confirm that we've discussed that A, my rent's at half for the next month, and B, we'll revisit it next month, or it could be something like that, yeah?
Definitely. The only risk I would say with just the email format is just being aware of what your lease says, again, about how we can make amendments. Sometimes we'll find little clauses in leases that talk about amendments only being made by all the parties signing a document, for example. which would mean that then that email correspondence might not be as enforceable. So just going back to that first point again, just know your lease so that whatever stage you reach in your negotiations, hopefully it's a quick resolution, everyone's on board, everyone's willing to compromise, but we can make sure that that's also enforceable as well.
Very good. Romy, thank you for your time. Thanks for taking a break out of your maternity leave to speak to us. Really valuable information. Guys, if you have any questions, jump on our website, give us a call or talk to your trusted advisor. Look, we're in this together. We're going to get through it together, and there's always help available if you need it. Have a great day and stay safe.